I will say this: these young women that like live on their phones nowadays, they're cooked, bro. Because like, what's gonna happen is, as you know, we all know that a woman's sexual market value is fairly perishable. As she ages, she gets less and less attractive, not as much attention. These girls are getting an enormous amount of attention right now. As they get older and then a new young hot girl comes on the block, they're not going to get as much attention. Look at Britney Spears right now. She's going crazy, dancing with fucking knives every other day on Twitter, doing some weird stuff, almost stabbing herself. And that is because she's not as relevant as she used to be. So what is she doing? She's doing riskier and weirder things to get the same attention she used to get in the 90s and 2000s.
Well, so with child actors and actresses, the way I would describe it is, let's say the average person grows up, and let's quantify it. You have 5 family members. Every day, you hear from only 2 of them, I love you, your parents. Your brothers and sisters don't say it all that often, right?
Your parents say that to you? No,
when kids are growing up on average. And so your parents say, going to school, like, bye, I love you. You hear it from 2 people every day. Imagine you're a child celebrity. Every day you hear it from 17,000 people.
Yeah.
Most of it is fake.
And most of it's fake, but you hear, I love you.
Yep.
As you get older and you become less relevant, you need... Your body is adapted to and expects 17,000 I love yous in one day.
Yep.
Now you're getting 7. You go insane.
Yeah.
You feel like you're doing something wrong. People need to say I love you. And so for regular people who grow up in normal families, by the time they're older and they get a couple I love yous, it's a normal life. Some people like you, some people don't. Child celebrities who grow up with everyone saying you're the best, the most beautiful, the funniest, and we all love you. And then you're 30 and no one says it ever. You go insane, you throw a bong out a window, you bang knives on X, and you beg for attention that no one will give you, and then you get locked up.
And that's what I'm trying to... So what you just mentioned, like an average chick, right, on IG is getting that level of attention nowadays thanks to Instagram and social media. What I'm saying is that we're going to have that for a lot of women in 20 to 30 years. I'm telling you, Tim.
You're wrong.
Okay, why? Go ahead.
AI.
Okay, well, why do you think AI... How is AI going to fix that problem?
That's going to replace the women.
Bro. So it's one of 2 things is going to happen.
Replace the women and the men, and then we're just going to...
Women are going to start using filters.
Okay.
And we've already seen it with like these older women who use filters. Like there was this old fat Asian woman who made herself look like a teenage girl, right?
You can do that with makeup too. You don't need filters.
But the filter was instant. And then something happened that broke the filter and she briefly appeared and then freaked out. But she was making money by talking like this and trying to act like a young girl. And then once the filter broke, it went viral and it was done.
So you're saying that they're going to be able to extend that period of time where they get attention?
I'm saying guys are going to be like, dude, women got no idea how to run the game. I'm going to create 7 AI women and I'm going to program them and control them. And that's already started to happen. Men are already running OnlyFans. You know this.
Yeah.
Guys are running it. They're getting women to take pictures, and then the guys are the ones who are doing the chats. Now they're not going to need women. They're going to go to an AI app and say, make an AI video of a woman doing something naughty. I'll post it, sell it, and then I'll act like the woman. And women aren't going to be able to compete with guys. You think women are going to be better at running these businesses than men?
No, they won't.
What,
but
the men,
so
the men,
no, they won't.
The men can have it. The men can have it.
What I will say is
These
this:
women aren't going to be happy to lose these jobs.
I'm talking about.
They're not going to have them forever anyway, and women will go do something else.
I'm talking about the women now.
More women comedians
that get this attention that like in the next 10 to 20 years. I'm talking about now. But no, I actually agree with you. I actually made a whole tweet about this. Lamar Odom got a sex doll that looked like Khloe Kardashian. He got a bunch of like weird, things on it. Yeah, he literally did a couple days ago. And I actually talked about this. Yeah, like sex robots.
And
I do
told
think
people about it.
He got like. I think he got paid to do it, to be honest with you. I think the sex robot company paid him. But the bottom line is this. I think, because I do agree with you on that like AI and stuff is going to take over. But I'm talking about the women now that they're going to not get as much attention. Because you can argue that it's going to be because of AI. But the sex robot thing, though, I think it's weird, and probably most of us here at the table think it's weird. I think it's going to get to a point in the next maybe 50, 20 to 100 years, somewhere in that range, it's going to be normal. Remember 20 years ago? Like, if you met a girl on a dating app, you were a fucking weirdo. Weird. Now it's the norm. A lot of people are getting married off of dating apps. I think sex robots, since so many guys are struggling, what they're going to do is they're going to start using sex robots. It's already happening now.
And so let's quantify this.
We got to invest in them.
There are brothels, though. You could invest in brothel, sex doll brothels in Montreal and Spain.
Right. Let's quantify this.
Those exist.
You've got a man, and he says, I can't deal with the dating market, so he gets a robot. You got a woman, and she's like, oh, men are awful, gets a robot. These women aren't
Women aren't going to get robots, though.
Women are buying robots.
Of course they are.
They absolutely.
Are you out of your mind? Of course they are.
You're shaking your head.
I'll tell you why, but keep going.
Well, you're wrong, because it is already happening and they're selling them.
Yeah.
Now, the issue is women, I think, will largely not adopt them, because it's for the same reason why male strippers are not as prominent as female strippers.
That's exactly what I was going to tell you.
Women do not want men in submissive positions.
Mm-hmm.
So this is not my opinion. There's research on strip clubs. Why are there so many female stripping and why are there so few male stripping? It does exist, but women go to male strip clubs largely as a jokey entertainment with their girlfriends where they giggle. Men go for sexual gratification. Women are not often let's just say titillated by men in submissive positions where they're servants.
Right.
Men enjoy women in the submissive position, so they go to the strip clubs. The robots will not work for women because women are going to be in full control of the machine. Men are going to enjoy the robots because they will be in full control of the machine.
Totally different mindset.
What's going to end up happening then is these women on OnlyFans are going to be like, please subscribe, and the guys are going to be like, get a robot. Then the guys are going to go work petroleum engineer jobs making $200K a year. Women are not going to have those jobs. Men are more likely to work higher risk jobs and higher skill jobs than women. Yep. Women tend to work the average jobs. There will become a massive gender pay disparity between all of the ridiculously single individuals. No one will be married. Men will have triple the income of women. Then the women will complain. Everyone votes. And likely what happens is because guys are voting less than women, women will vote to tax all the men to pay their bills and the state will enforce it.
Okay,
what a terrible dystopia.
Though there are...
Let's make a movie.
Though there are women that are using robots, it's still the minority because the reality is the things that women look for in a relationship can be outsourced by a robot. For men, a lot of it can be outsourced. Right. Sex, food... we don't want them to talk that much, so we don't really need that. But you can talk with your buddies. But with women need that protection, that provisioning, and then women are more interested in people than men are interested in people. So women need that masculine energy and to feel like they got a protector and a provider. It's very difficult to find that nowadays, but you can't outsource that to a robot is what I'm trying to say. Though right. There will be a market for robots for women, it's not going to be nearly as profitable as the robot industry for men.
So women have already used robots.
There's a lot of
long
women
time.
Who...
I mean,
women have their own versions, and men largely didn't. But what men are looking for, and this is a really interesting dynamic, men don't buy these products the way women do today. But once it becomes humanoid, lifelike, weird robots, women are not going to have as big a market as men will. I believe you're right, because men are looking for an emotionally satisfying encounter, and so guys are going to want something that simulates girlfriend ASMR.
And we're easy to please.
Like the Japanese guys who are marrying their anime pillows.
Yes, because the other thing I think that's very important for people to understand is that men are very easy to please from a female perspective, but women are not necessarily as easy to please. Women require far more.
Isn't that crazy?
Than men do.
I totally disagree.
But isn't this crazy that guys...
I totally disagree.
You disagree that women don't have higher standards than men?
I think women maybe have higher standards, but I think that the things women want are also very simple.
Absolutely not.
Guys,
if that was the case, we'd have more married women. We'd have more women that are happy. We wouldn't have all these raging feminists.
Married women are more happy than single women.
But that's what I'm trying to say. That's what I'm trying to say. But we'd have more of them.
If they wanted to be happy, they'd get married.
Thank you.
I think
but they don't know it because they've been sold
guys are going to buy
goods.
products so they can find love, and women buy products today so they can have gratification. A guy is not going to go to a store to buy a toy the way a woman would. And I'm trying to be light here because we don't want to get too graphic.
Yeah.
But guys don't buy these products the way women do.
No, but guys go to the sex industry the way
because
women
they want a woman to lay next to them. And so that's why you have these AI girlfriends exploding among men. Because men don't need women in the same way. Like, women want to buy toys so they can physically gratify themselves. Men want robot girlfriends to say, I love you. That's a crazy dynamic. Did you see that kid who committed because his Daenerys Targaryen AI girlfriend said, I love you, why can't you be with me? And he's like, I'll come to you now, And she goes, oh, please, my love, come to me. And then he took his own life. That's terrifying.
Yeah, that was terrifying. I really hated that story.
Guys are buying body pillows to snuggle with. Mm-hmm. They're not banging their body pillows.
Well, women are buying body pillows to snuggle with too. They just don't have faces.
This is why female girlfriend ASMR creepy stuff is so popular on YouTube. There's tons of videos where it's a woman records herself fake sleeping and making weird noises so that guys can play it in their headphones and feel like they have a girl with them.
Yeah, well, I still think it's important to understand that, like, not only do women have more standards, but remember, women can just go out into the marketplace and find a guy. It might not be her top choice, but they can. Versus, like, the guy, he can't necessarily just go out and find a girl.
Women don't know that.
They absolutely know that. Thanks to social media, they know that.
You know, the young, pretty women know that, but most women don't know that. Most of your average women don't.
Average women have more pull in the sexual marketplace than celebrity guys.
You guys don't talk to a lot of women who are looking.
I've talked to thousands.
I think
I've talked to thousands.
I think there's a relativity issue here. Like, women on dating apps get messaged. guys on dating apps message. So the reason why a lot of guys have been abandoning dating apps, this is why Bumble changed their system, is because guys are going, they're swiping and typing their fingers to the bone, and all women do is open the app and then scroll through the list of guys who message them and then choose who they want. The data shows,
and they don't even go out with them a lot of times.
Right. The data shows that men will message literally any woman, and women will only respond to the top 20% of men because women, like you were saying, average women have more marketplace value than celebrity men.
And Instagram and social media has made it where they're able to globalize it now.
Whether they know it or not, they act upon it, they behave it, and the products reflect it. So Bumble, I think they changed this, right? Bumble.
Yeah. It used to be the woman had to message you first, and on Bumble and Tinder, they only respond to about 5% of the guys that message them.
Right,
about 5% now.
So guys,
you know what? Everyone should just marry their high school sweethearts.
They should,
and not do any of this stuff anymore.
When Tinder started, guys
blame the women though. They're the ones that pick.
Guys would just swipe. It's all society, man. When Tinder first started, guys would just swipe right on every single woman because it was like the response that Tinder was getting was guys were saying, I swipe on 200 women I think are attractive and I get no responses. So I'll take anything at this point. So they started swiping on everybody, and Tinder realized that guys had just started saying yes to every single person. So they started putting limits on it, saying only a certain amount at a time.
But here's the thing: women control the sexual marketplace.
We had a guy that was
they control it.
I told this story the other night. We had a guy that was our guitar tech for a little while, and he literally would just pick up his phone and on Tinder, and he would just every single person swiping right. Didn't matter. He didn't look at any of them because he was just casting the widest net possible.
Well, because he's like, I'm gonna swipe right. I'm gonna sit there and focus and swipe right and swipe left and swipe right and get no responses from anybody.
Yeah.
So just whatever. The data shows, and this is OkCupid data, the attraction curve for men is a standard bell curve, and for women, it's an exponential gain.
What does that mean?
Women only respond to the top 20%.
Top 5.
That's on
dating apps. On dating apps,
also
it's now. Yeah,
that's
top 5.
also only initially. Once they get to know people, it becomes normal. So men they don't know, they're only looking at the most top tier. Once they get to
Which
know
isn't
someone,
the same for everyone.
All women,
for women, it is. But then once they get to know it, once they get to know it, everyone it turns into normal people.
Not opinion. All fact. The app data shows this, and it causes serious change in their business structure. A woman who is considered to be the mid percentile will get messages from every guy, even guys who are slightly higher grade. And so this is the dating apps actually quantify the amount of attention you're getting and the score of your profile. Women ignore. So like a woman who would be a 5 out of 10 feels like she deserves a 10 out of 10 guy, and she'll ignore every other guy. So then what ends up happening is you get incels. There was an interview like 8 years ago with a guy who was an incel, who was a completely normal looking average guy with a good paying job. And when they interviewed him, they were like, what do you mean you're an incel? You're like an average guy. You're 5'9". You make $60,000 a year. You've got a college degree. And then he was saying like, but why can't I, why isn't it working for me then? And they were like, what are you doing wrong? And he's like, I try and going on the dating apps. They looked at his profile. There's a funny meme. You probably know this one.
Yep.
Where a woman said, my brother was struggling to date. And he said, no matter what he did on dating apps, nothing was working. I told him he was wrong and he was doing it wrong. So I said, I'll run your app for you. And she said, after a day, I was super depressed. I hated life and I never picked the app up again.
Yep.
She was like, I made a great profile. I picked the best photos. He's 6 foot tall. He's fit. I was messaging people. No one would respond. They were mean. They were snooty. Man, it sucks to be a guy.
Well, I don't think apps are the way to find true love either. I mean, don't you think that that's a failed system?
Well,
I do, yeah.
Here's the thing, right? There's so many different factors going on here, but the reality is that women control the sexual marketplace. And since women control the sexual marketplace, women kind of date on a, can I do better? And with the internet and higher status men and more attractive men constantly contacting them, they always feel like they can do better, even though they might not necessarily be able to do better. There's average girls that can hook up with an NBA player or a celebrity rapper, and she'll think, oh, this is the type of guy that I now qualify for. But the reality is she only qualifies for sex, not a relationship. But in her head, no girl wants to feel like a whore. So she's like, oh, no, I could get this guy. And then what ends up happening is she stays in this perpetual circle where she's not necessarily able to get a guy. Because you guys mentioned, oh, yeah, marry your high school sweetheart. That's not good enough for women anymore. The average man is not attractive.
That's true.
Here's the thing. The average man, 5'8", making 30, 50K per year, is not attractive to the average woman. The average woman wants more than that.
Yep. And that's the meme of all the profiles that say no men under 6 feet.
Yep.
Yeah, because the contemporary thing is what
6'6", like, 6 pack.
Isn't that like, I mean, isn't that obviously
the average guy's 5'9"?
Yeah, but isn't that just obviously so satanic? Like, why would you
here's the problem.
Be touting that?
I've literally asked this question to girls. Like, how much do you want? Every girl, I want a guy that makes 6 figures a year. Okay, what percentage of men do you think earn this kind of money? And they're like 50%, 70%, 80%. And the reason why is because a lot of times they only deal with men at this level. They don't know that the average guy's making 30, 50K per year. So they assume that what they see all the time is normal, because women kind of have a very skewed perception of reality when it comes to dating, because they only see the cream of the crop, the best guys, because they're the ones coming up to them all the time. The other guys are invisible. Like, they're at Walmart or CVS. They're not checking out none of those guys that work there. They're invisible. Meanwhile, we're at CVS. Oh, that chick is hot. And you know what I mean? We're very different. So guys, quick word from our sponsor real fast. You know we don't mess around when it comes to leveling up, and that goes for your coffee too. If you're still drinking that sugary shit, you're already started your morning off wrong. 1775 Coffee's protein creamer is what real men use to start their day. 10 grams of whey protein per serving, designed to build muscle and boost metabolism. Most people are tossing whey protein into their coffee, but we took it a step further and made a creamer with whey protein already built in, no added sugar, just protein. They just dropped this protein creamer along with a whole new lineup. In addition to the classic dark and medium roast, you'll find new coffee pods and a brain-boosting mushroom blend that'll have you focus like a sniper locked in on CNN. Don't start your morning funding the woke mob and dumping garbage into your body. Do it right with 1775 Coffee. Use code FRESH to get 15% off. Guys, I'm drinking 1775 Coffee right now, man. As we walk it like we talk it over here, guys, and they got one that has a protein blend, man, so definitely go show them support. Shout out to 1775 Coffee.